Cthulhu Jack.
Bogart is back, and this time the sultry lady on his hip is none other than Lizbeth Scott.
That way you'll get rid of it fast.
It's a system I use.
You ever try throwing it out the window?
With a mystery afoot about a missing fellow combat paratrooper by the name of Sergeant Johnny Drake.
Medium?
Medium what?
Medium young, medium height, medium weight.
Very illuminating.
The smell of jasmine and a high roller by the name of Martinelli and a slain realtor.
Cinderella with a husky voice.
Where have we met?
In another guy's dream.
I'm talking about Dead Reckoning from 1946. Captain Rip Murdoch, played by Bogart, and Comrade Sergeant Drake, played by William Prince, have been plucked out of their hospital beds where they were recuperating from wounds received on the battlefield.
Hey, brother, we're dynamite.
Huh?
Transportation priority 1A. That's how the big boy, the president himself, traveled.
For Johnny to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor and Rip the Distinguished Service Cross. Arriving in Gulf City amongst local press aiming to snap shots to make the evening paper.
With the newsreels grinding.
In Technicolor. What's the gripe, Professor? That's the best they've got. There isn't any more.
You shouldn't have done it, Rip.
Johnny lays tracks in the form of hopping an outbound train.
There was something final about it.
When 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, Rip's curiosity to locate his pal grows exponentially.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a pretty good idea where he is, but we don't want intelligence messing around in this.
After he discovers that Johnny is actually John Joseph Preston, a teacher who's wanted for murder.
Why did he come back here where he was even hotter than the weather? And why? Why not another word from him since that first call?
When a crispy car wreck rustles him from 10 winks, Rip's gut guides him to the local morgue for the 1 in a million maybes.
I was wondering if I could take a look in your icebox.
Looking for somebody special?
A missing person thought I had to take a squint at your stock.
Bumping into a NOIR favorite.
Oh, I thought maybe you was a morgue buff.
Buff.
A fan and not like those guys that chase fires. I didn't know homicide men hung out in the morgue.
Charles Kane playing Lieutenant Kincaid.
I might as well blanket the field.
His own mother wouldn't know him. He's as crisp as bacon.
The only item that had any relevance was a melted chunk of metal.
Black enamel and gold. Johnny's senior society pin.
Rip skates on the lieutenant as more questions swirl about Johnny. He decides to tie one off at the Sanctuary Club while snooping.
It looked like feeding time at the zoo. All you needed was money to start with and bicarbonate soda to finish with.
Where Louis the bartender, a friend of Johnny's, gets cold feet just hearing a familiar name.
2 nights ago, just before he left my place, he gave me a letter for you, in case you showed up.
With a letter to be handed over is stifled by the leer of a big lug named Kraus. The spotlight falls on Coral after she gives it up to Rip, looking to meet Johnny south of the border.
I couldn't figure her out yet. I wanted to see her the way Johnny had.
Swelling emotions are cooked with an invite to some backroom gambling by club owner Martinelli.
Perhaps you'd like to try a little roulette.
Coral's streak of sour luck is tossed aside after Rip chucks in a few.
Please, Rip, I'm 16,000 ahead.
Bother you?
No, a solid winning by a player every now and then is the best advertising for any casino.
When a pair of die are swapped for snake eyes.
I never think when I gamble, Martinelli. I just feel, and I feel snake eyes.
This duo is further invited to Martinelli's office for the earned cold cash and a Mickey.
Mr. Martinelli's private stock.
Back at his hotel.
What's your phone number, Dusty?
Sir, 3181.
I'll call you back. I got company.
Louis, the bartender, with Johnny's letter also pinched. Foggy thoughts come into focus as he stashes these botched skivvies. Lieutenant Kincaid rolls up on a tip and a jiff.
Oh, so it's you, the smart guy from Frisco.
Able to placate,
If you're looking for Easter bunnies, you're a day early.
Rip calls Coral with current events as she's also still woozy.
All right, then park your car in the garage exactly at 1 o'clock and meet me in the lobby.
Rip puts a call into an old friend while stashing Louis in the trunk of Coral's car. With Lieutenant Kincaid incognito, Rip spots this phony bill a mile away. Placing a prank call into the station, a cameo by an all-grown-up buckwheat himself, Matthew Stymie Beard, delivers this farce.
Who wants me?
Headquarters, sir. On the phone.
This literal stymie of police surveillance enables Rip to snatch up Coral and they're off with hidden luggage. Over a smoke and salmon,
Johnny came into the room. He'd followed us home from the club. He took the gun away from Sturt. He was trying to. I don't know what happened, but it seemed to go off right in my ear. And when I came to, Johnny was kissing me.
Rip lends her an ear, but stays honed in on Johnny's coded letter that's stashed back at the Sanctuary Club.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, I believe you.
We meet Safecracker McGee, who Rip looks to hire for the Martinelli job. He passes to stay above board, giving Rip the cliff notes to make do. He and Coral deposit poor Louie at Martinelli's house, putting in another tip to Kincaid. Rip and Coral double back to the sanctuary, waiting for Martinelli to split. The plan goes bust when a whiff of jasmine hits Rip harder than that sap. Waking as Krause's punching bag.
Go ahead and make with the music, friend. We love it.
Rip refuses to decipher the letter. With a weak stomach to violence,
Maybe he'll talk to you now, I think.
Prop him up in a chair facing the wall. I told you I can't bear the sight of your handiwork.
Martinelli and Krause perk up when Rip spills about a letter implementing them on Johnny.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Escaping on the way back to the hotel, Rip pops in on Coral, who finally admits she plugged hubby.
Yes, that's the way, Rick. Your way, any way you want it.
Having heard Cullen her confession,
I had to make you prove it the hard way.
he finally catches 48 hours of needed shut-eye. Cora plans for them both to skip town. One last stop places them back at Martinelli's to scoop up the pistol Coral used to kill hubby.
Carl knows it wasn't in my safe. She went through everything in it after blackjacking you.
Threatened with souvenirs from the war, Martinelli lays it straight for Rip.
I followed the old man home and shot him.
The Preston kid thought she did it. Took the rap.
Krause panics and takes a leap of faith while Martinelli eats hot lead. Desperation and lies end with more bodies stacked in the icebox saloon.
What'd you do with the gun?
Right here in my pocket.
Give it to me.
It is a blue sick world for you, isn't it?
With this being Lizbeth Scott's third film at the time,
Yes, it's like I said. Somebody always pushes me.
she sells it well as the fallen lounge singer. You can see a more confident evolution of her acting skill by the time she starred in Pitfall from '48. Bogart has his hound dog sign-winding persona down to a science, while wielding zingers like a saber duel.
Go ahead. Put Christmas in your eyes and keep your voice low. Tell me about paradise and all the things I'm missing. I haven't had a good laugh since before Johnny was murdered.
So, if you're in the mood for a whodunit that has all the twists and turns of a fine cocktail, then this dance is for you. Until next time.
Snap the light off when you go out. I'll leave the door unlocked. You can walk in anytime.
Thank you to our YouTube members and everyone out there for your continued support. And Hail Cthulhu!